Wow, okay, this is actually working out. Let's wait for the thing to do. There we go. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, hi there. My name is Arcane Static, and today we're going to be building some Gunpla. I am using a really jank-ass 2-camera setup right now. So this camera, the face camera, is actually my telephone that is broadcasting to an app, or through an app, to my computer via Wi-Fi. So if this cuts out at some point, this thing here, it's probably because my telephone battery died. That's also why it's like 2 frames per second. So anyway, we're gonna get to work on some of this stuff here. So we've got the YMS-15 Gyan and the MSM-07 Char's Custom Zugok. I think we're going to start with the Gyan because I've never built a Gyan before, which is pretty cool. We're gonna set this up so that it doesn't look weird. There we go. Alright. So let's get this thing started then, shall we? Now, if we're talking about like just the little random history bits of this specific mobile suit, so there are a couple companies in the Gundam Universal Century universe where they were working with and competing against other, you know, mobile suit manufacturer companies that were trying to like make the one thing that ZEON was going to be able to use during their like full assault of the EFSF. And you know, the Zeonic Corporation was the main one, and they made the Zaku and the Zaku 2 and all of that. So it is understandable to think that they would have looked for something that was going to be as reliable as the Zaku 1 and the Zaku 2. Well, the Zaku 1 was not very reliable, but that's not the point. What is the point is that this company, whose name I don't remember, God, I wish I remembered the name of their company. They basically were like, check it, we're gonna build you a close combat, just specifically close combat only mobile suit that you can use in conjunction with the Dom and the Rick Dom, which we have also built you that are wildly popular right now, that can support via like mid-range stuff. And they built the Dom, or the Gyan rather, and so the Gyan is this like super close quarters only, not really good for anything but that close quarters mobile suit. And I mean, you can tell by the way that it looks, it's modeled after like a medieval knight. The beam saber that it's got is like a very fencing saber kind of looking. It's got like a sword and a shield and a pointy helmet and that kind of junk. So it makes sense that it would be a very close range piece of work, and it was quite strong in close range combat, but pretty much only in close range combat. So we'll see how it goes when you're putting it together. Now, when you're building a Gunpla, each of these has a series of, you know, cool little photos and junk that you can do the stuff inside of it, but then it's also got all of the instructions as well. And what's really cool is that you kind of really don't need any Japanese at all to build these things. So, did this camera die? I think this camera died. We're just gonna turn that camera completely off, I think, because who cares? Just do that. Shrug. This one wasn't that important anyway. We're gonna go ahead and turn that thing just completely off. Alright. Anyway, where were we? So, we're going to take a look at the... Hello, Josh! How's it going? We're taking a look at the instructions for how we're supposed to put together this Gyan very first. So the very first thing is that it tells you where all the runners are and like what each of the things are on those runners. So, we'll go from there then, shall we? So, according to these instructions, we're looking for the pieces B22 and B21 with some of the polycaps as well. So let's take a look for these. They're the foot pieces. So, now I've got my specific... Hey, how's it going, Michael? Thanks for coming by, you guys. I've got my specific, like, Gundam building nippers here. And these are like a really sharp edge with like a flat closure, so that when you nip these things off of the runners, they don't leave a terrible lot of, like, extra fucking plastic and shit behind. So, like, if we do it really close up like this, you can kind of see. We'll just nip right off like that. And then you can see that there's very little residue left over on the thing. So we're going to just go ahead and nip out all of the leg pieces, because we're going to have to build both of them anyway. So here's our 19. Here's our 20. Man, it's been a long time since I built me any Gundams. Technically, I'm not building any Gundams, I'm just building Zeonic mobile suits. But, you know, it's fine. So 19 and 20 go together. And then 21 and 22 go together. So just, you know, keep working on that. Anyway, how are you guys doing? What are you all up to? Thanks for coming by and validating my impulse purchases. Oh man, isn't Ghostbusters looking so good though? There, on the Patreon page for it, there is a video update of all the stuff that's in the box right now. And oh goodness, it looks so good. Oh, it looks so good. I'm really excited for it. Alright, so we've got our 2 legs and we're looking for polycaps R and F, which on here, so the polycaps are like a more flexible plastic because they're the moving joint bits, which makes sense. So we're looking for 2 R's and 2 F's. R's. I hope that this is at least, like, mildly interesting for you guys. And I mean, if nothing else, it's like a way for me to hang out with y'all for a little bit while I'm doing something else. Here are 2 R's. Here are 2 F's. Yeah, no, the Kickstarter was, like, it was actually quite a long time ago. God, when was it? Shit, when was it? It was a long time ago. Well, in any case, it was quite a long time ago, but it was also very good when it went down. We did pretty well on it as well. I'm impressed with how well we did. Alright. So this guy is going to go into the knee joint, what I assume is the knee joint here. Hashtag friendship. Yep, that sounds about right to me. No, like, really, though, you guys are super rad for coming and hanging out and, like, listening to the bullshit that I talk about all the time. I really do appreciate it. I've been seeing a lot of my favorite YouTubers do really well recently, and it's just like, oh, it's so heartwarming. Okay, so now, we've got the foot piece put together, but you can still kind of see there's these little, I wonder if you can really see it that well, but there's these little, like, bits of residue that are still left over from where we cut them off of the runners. And, like, these nippers are great for getting rid of getting rid of most of it when you're cutting it off the runner. But there's only so much of that you can do, which is why I've got a piece of 320 grit sandpaper here that we'll use to sort of just clean up this area. I wonder if we can actually get a little better of a shot of it. So, we'll just go ahead and get rid of some of this real quick. Smooth everything out on that seam. And brilliant. Tamiya kits were so good, though, right? Yeah, no, Gundam used to be a real big thing for me, and, like, I've started this collection twice now, so I was trying really hard not to start it yet again, but I did, so fuck it. In for a penny, in for a pound, right? Sandpaper. I wish I'd have gotten some higher grade sandpaper than just 320, but the 320 was the cheapest and I didn't want to spend a shit ton of money on it, so yeah, there we go. So we've got one decent looking piece of foot, so we'll go ahead and throw this next one together. This one's gonna go like this with this bit in the front so that it can flex in all the directions that it had ought. And then this one is going to pop down into the bottom bit here. So the way that these things work is that they run off of like a little hinge system so that these bits can independently rotate inside of the pieces that they're stuck, so that you can actually have like articulated joints and things in your kit. Which I think is quite cool. I mean, a million years ago, back when Gunpla was first a thing, all of the moving joints and stuff were done with hard plastic, so they would grate together, and if you played with it even a little bit, it would just, like, break. So it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, you could play with it. Probably shouldn't, though. Actually, let me see if I can't get... Here we go. Here's another really useful tool for, getting rid of the, like, little tiny nits of plastic runner, is if you can run an X-Acto knife just barely across it like you're shaving a face, then you should be able to get rid of a lot of the extra without having to sand very much of it. Oh man, this used to be my jam. Back when I lived in Fukushima, I would do this kind of stuff all the time. We had a Yodobashi camera down there that had an entire Gundam section, and so I would spend a small portion of my paycheck pretty much every month getting 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 of these. So, yeah. I do not intend to make this into like a major habit like I used to, but what I intend and what may happen could very well be two completely separate things. I don't have time for another Gundam habit, really. I don't. I'm saying all of this stuff to you guys so that you can hear me have said it. So that in like 3 months or whatever, when I'm, holding my like 17th Gundam building stream or whatever, and I'm, working on a master grade Aobawa coup or some bullshit like that, you guys can be like, hey Vincent, you remember that time when you told us that you weren't going to get into this again? It's like, well, yeah, Alright, so what do we got going on here? We're looking for B 5, 6, 7, and 8, which are these ones here. They're going to be your, like, thigh thing. Hello, Lovely. It's doing okay. I've built 2 shins so far. We're going to put the, like, thigh bits together now. It's alright. It's alright, Thanks for coming by and hanging out. Yep. Okay, so we got our number 8, which goes with our number 6. Hope the camera angle's the right angle for you guys right now. It must be, it's like a weird perspective, isn't it? It's kind of weird, because I've got it, like, I sit over here, and I've got the camera coming this way, instead of it over my shoulder like I would normally have liked it, because I couldn't set that up the right way. On the plus side, I will have an action camera in the next couple days, so that'll be nice. But yeah. So what I really liked about the ZEON was, way back when I used to play this game, Mobile Suit Gundam Bonds of the Battlefield, right? And it is an arcade game that they still have here, which I intend to make some recordings of once I have the nice camera, where it's like a pod that you get inside, and you pilot your mobile suits the way that you want to pilot them, and that kind of stuff. We're looking for Polycap 8, or Polycap E and J for each of these. So here's our J. But anyway, when I was in the, when I was into that game a lot more, I used to pretty much either play only, like, sniper range, or only close range. And I would get destroyed whenever I was playing close range. But whenever I did, I would play the ZEON, because ZEON was the coolest close range unit that we had available, Now for the long-range unit, we had the Zaku 1 Sniper, which was a retrofitted Zaku 1 unit that, instead of, like, having the reactor that the Zaku 2 had so that it was able to move around and do more mobility stuff better, it was retrofitted with a different reactor to power a really high-powered beam rifle. Which, I mean, you know, that's nice. Alright, so let's see here. We'll hold this one like this. Polycap E, which is this one, is gonna go in like, it has to pass through this bit here. We're gonna snap into the little, oh, come on, don't fuck with me. Snap into the little hole like that. So now we've made a ball joint, essentially, which is kind of rad. And then you'll be able to stick the hip joint onto the inside of it. Alright, so we've pulled that in, and then we'll take this little guy and knock him onto there. That's going to be our knee joint, probably? Yeah. Yeah, that seems about right. Doesn't it seem about right? Perfect. And then from here, we'll just close this guy right up. Like that. Et voila. Yeah, so they're actually taking down the giant Gundam in Odaiba. I only live a couple minutes away from it, but they've started to take it down, and I don't know why. Really sad about it. I don't think they're getting rid of the Gundam Museum that's still over in Odaiba. It's up on the, like, 7th floor of that shopping complex, but, it's pretty cool. Back when it was still up, I actually took some cosplay pictures in front of it that were completely unrelated to Gundam. Those were the days. Yeah. Alright, so we've got this nipped and cut, and now we're just gonna sand it very lightly. Yeah, I know, right? I think they're gonna put it up in a different area, so when you do come back, we'll probably be able to do it. It'll just not be in Odaiba. I remember we tried to go to Odaiba, but I think that was one of the nights that we were just like, fuck it. So one of the main things that I don't really dig about using the sandpaper on it is that it makes a little bit of like a matte area on the bit where you're sanding it, because it takes off some of the little like varnish shiny finish on it. But you can deal with that simply by afterwards weathering your kit. Weathering is actually really fun. I don't have any of the weathering materials that I would like to have, because I just literally restarted my collection, like, this will be it today. So I don't have any of the cool stuff that I normally would have with it. The weathering kits and all the paints and the glues and things. But, I'll probably pick some of that up eventually. So we're making thigh number 2, like that. And we'll just sort of push all this together. Oh, why aren't you fitting right? There we go. That's one of the major issues also with making just high grades, which is what this is that sometimes the plastic injections don't fit 100% right, so you have to like shave down edges of stuff manually. Like, you can, I don't know if you can really see it on this one right now. You probably can't with the way that the camera is working. But this side of the piece is slightly higher than this side of the piece. So I'll probably have to pare it down manually, which is annoying. But it's fine, you know, because I spent an entire 500 yen on these two models. 500 yen each, so, you know, the equivalent of like $9.50 to get 2 of these models. Alright, so now we've got these 2 thighs, which let's put them into... There we go. Just like that. Not just like that. Just this way. Here we go. Turn it around that way, and there we go. Now we've got this flexible joint. See how this sort of... So it'll stand like this, and it'll be able to bend forward a little bit and bend back a little bit. You know, the ZEON was meant for high mobility, like, speed-wise, but it didn't really need to do a whole lot of flexibility stuff. Yeah, look at that. Rad. Alright, so that's a shin, a top of the foot, and a thigh made. Let's make the actual foot now. So we're looking for a 12, 13, 14, and 15. That's going to be the foot bits. The slightly darker blues down here. So go ahead and nip these off of the runners. Man, now I remember why I used to build these things. Like, it's actually quite a lot of fun. I used to, like, when Austin, who has played Borderlands and shit with me before, when he used to live with me over in Fukushima, we used to buy a bunch of these and build them together and then paint them, like, in custom ways and that kind of stuff. I remember he made a really cool, like, the mobile suit itself was supposed to be like a light neon greeny sort of thing. It's the Palace Athene for anyone who is a fan of the mobile suits. But he made a Palace Athene, but then he painted the whole thing like a copper and gold and black instead of that terrible green color, and it looked rad as hell. So it was like this cool metallic copper thing, and it was just like, oh, yeah. Yeah, that's real cool. Alright, so we've got these feet pieces, which come with the ball joint on it already, so that's nice. We'll just go ahead and snap these together. If I can get them into the right places. Come on. Kindly behave, please. There we go. So that bit is snapped all in. Yeah, I've heard that the 2020 Olympics are why it's being taken down, so that it can be, like, upgraded with more moving parts and stuff like that. Which I think is rad, because fucking Gundam with more moving parts than it already had, sign me the fuck up. On the other hand, I don't know if I'm going to still be here by that time in 2020. Shit! I screwed it up. I cut a little bit too high on here, and I managed to scrape it a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, the camera won't autofocus. But yeah, no, it's like, if it's still up at all right now, it's only there in pieces. Yeah, this bit needs to be shaved down a little bit before you stick it in, because otherwise it won't fit properly, and it'll look all jank-ass like this one does right now. A little bit regretful that I didn't shave that down a little more. That's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Gonna pop in like that. And that, like, that's another thing that you need to really be careful about when you're doing Gundam kits and stuff like this, is if you're gonna use an X-Acto knife, you gotta be real careful that you don't, like, cut yourself and fuck yourself up, because it's kind of gross when you do. I have never seriously cut myself while building a Gundam kit, but I have minorly done so, and it's an inconvenience. Now, the worst I've ever cut myself, I was actually working costumes for a panto down in California. Cut the shit out of my finger with a rotary cutter. Those were the good days, when I had to trundle down to the scene shop and, like, bust open their heavy-duty their heavy-duty first aid kit and be like, yo, what's up, you guys? Yeah, I cut the shit out of myself. Sorry. Alright, this is backwards. So we're going to turn it the actual correct way here. Here we go. Is it backwards? Not sure if that's backwards. Yeah, there we go. So this is the right way to do it. So we've got a foot. Bam. And in a moment, we'll have 2 feet. We're just going to stick this right up inside of that little ball joint. And there we go. Now, the foot itself articulates, but it doesn't flex forward or back very much, which is fine, because, you know, whatever. We deal, right? We deal. We got 2 feet done. Neat. Now, off of this, we're going to take A7, which is on... where? Here we go. It's these little kneecap joints here. Yes, they're not really joints so much as just caps. And these will go into these little front bits here. Oh no, come back. Go ahead and nip in through here. Pull up like that. Shh, don't you fucking get lost on me. And we'll cut you out like that as well. There we go. Now let's see if we can't clean up your runner edges a little bit. Fortunately, this one doesn't seem like it's going to need very much of it. Just a little bit of getting rid of. Stop it. You, on the other hand, turned out a little more gross. You got little, like, stubs and scabs on you. There we go. Alright. So we'll just go ahead and snap these in for your little kneecaps. Bap and bap like this. And there we go. 2 feet. Sweet. Next up, let's do the arms. So we've done all of this stuff up here. Oh no. Let's put you guys over here for now. Aw, come on, dude. Why are you not closed all the way in the back here? There we go. Okay, 2 feet done. So now we're going to hit down on this bottom bit here. Yeah, I mean, I've used plastic solvents to fix little cuts like that before. This one I'm probably just going to cover with some weathering. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, I promise. Alright, so we're going for B. 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is just going to be these guys up here. Our weird ball-shaped shoulder joints. The ZEON didn't really have the same kind of aesthetic that the Zaku did, which is fine. I mean, they were trying to make their own image as well and, you know, keep away from the Zeonic Corporation's copyrighted, etc., etc., you know, trying to make theirself a name as a producer of mobile suits, which they had already really done using the Dom, the Rick Diaz, and they were wildly popular. In fact, if I'm going to play mid-range in Bonds of the Battlefield, I will almost always choose the Dom or the Dom Tropin. The Dom Tropin, of course, being the Dom that was developed for sand and sand and ice and that kind of stuff. So, like, when you have a mobile suit and the mobile suit walks, it gets in contact with the ground. But when there's sand and shit like that, it'll get up inside of the working parts, and so it'll gum it all up. That's why they made the Dom, especially the Dom Tropin, because it doesn't actually sit on the ground so much as it hovers above it using like a repulsor sort of system, so it can move around, and it makes it so that it kind of glides a little bit more than I would like as a control unit. But even just with that, like, it has high mobility, but it's got also, like, high power, like, power drain, for lack of a better term. Alright, what am I also looking for here? We're also going to need 24. Yeah, here we go, some B-24s here. I'm going to cut these guys out. So this is going to be the, like, front panel of the shoulder. Yeah. So let's trim this guy up. And there we go. Throw this guy right in there. Now, for this, we need polycap Q. How's it going, Jason? We are right now working on... Actually, I'll just leave this out here like this so that you guys can see it. We're working on the YMS-15 ZEON. Move this a little bit like this, so that I've got a little bit more room to work here. And there we go. How's it going, Jason? What was I? Polycap Q. Polycap Q. Here we go. HGBDQ. Here we go. I'm really pleased with the advent of polycaps, because, like, I've made some of the vintage Gundam kits before as well, and they're fucking garbage in terms of, like, actual mobility and posability and stuff like that. It's real fortunate that, they exist at all. Alright. So we're going to pop this polycap into the shoulder joint, just like that. So now we've got this movable polycap in here. And then from here, this guy is going to pop onto the front of it, as I understand it. Yeah. Saki ni toritsuke-masu. Ah. Supposed to put this in. Haha, no worries, Josh. I mean, I am just building Gundams right now, so... It's not like I'm playing a game where you guys have to be actively involved. Alright, so we got this guy going on. And we're going to pop him in. There we go. So it's on the inside. That's actually quite clever. See, remember I said that I'd never built this kit before? The rotational, like, capability of this shoulder joint is actually on the inside of the piece, which I think is rad as hell. That's really actually clever. Sweet. Oh, man. Well, yeah, thanks for sticking around, Josh. I really appreciate it. Where are you, over in New York or something? This is the wrong piece. We're going to use this piece instead. Yeah, here we go. So we'll pop this together. Just like that. And there we go. So now we've got, well, Florida and New York are in the same time zone, I guess, so I wasn't wrong, technically, even though I was wrong 100%. But yeah, now we've got this shoulder joint here, which will stick onto the side like that, and then it'll be able to move this way, which is super cool. Let's go ahead and pare this down and then sand it off a little bit. What I need is a smaller detail knife. We go. Shit. We're just gonna... Yeah. There we go. I'm excited because once I get my action camera in, I can actually start doing stuff with two cameras, where I can do... Well, I mean, DDR. DDR is the main reason that I bought the second camera, to be honest, because I wanted to make a DDR video to go with the U-Beat video that I put up, but I only had one camera available, and just recording the pad is boring, and just recording the screen is boring. You kind of have to have both. So I thought, well, why don't I buy a camera so that I have two available recording devices? And that's how that happened. I'm not even sorry. So we're going to pop the polycap into this guy. Check. we're gonna slip him into the joint on the the joint on the inside here. Making sure that this edge is shaved down properly so that it does come together just the right way. And presto. Got another shoulder joint. There we go. Let's clean this up a little bit. Just like that. See, and now if I end up doing another stream like this one, where I've got something that I'm focusing on here, and also I want to be able to, like, look up and look at you guys with my face or whatever, I'll have another camera that will be able to do that, which is nice. I tried to do that earlier with an application on my telephone, but the app turned out to be shit, and it froze a lot, and it was at, like, 2 frames per second, so... In terms of accidentally cutting my finger, it's not really that likely that I'm gonna cut my finger. I mean, if I do, it'll be like paper cut status, so it's not really that bad. So we're looking at the, like, elbow to wrist bit now. This bit, which we're gonna work through with pieces 12 to 15 on the B runner. I say this as though people are following along with their own fucking YMS 15 kits. Be fun, though. Actually, wouldn't that be a cool set of videos to do? Would be to, like, have a giveaway of, like, a bunch of mobile suit sets, and then do a live stream where y'all build it with me. That would be rad as fuck. Speaking of rad as fuck, so do you guys remember that that anime that was on Adult Swim a couple years back, Big O? Because I remember Big O. Big O used to be one of my absolute favorite shows ever. In fact, it still is. We're looking for polycaps C and D for this one. But yeah, no, still one of my favorite series in, like, any context, because it's basically Batman with a giant robot, and how rad is that? And during my second era of collection, I had a Big O kit that I put together, and so I was looking for it again on the internet yesterday, just to see how expensive it is, and it's just, like, stupid, impossible to find now. Like, nobody has it anymore. And, like, of the places that do have it, it's either like, yeah, we have it, it's sold out now. Or, yeah, we have it, and it's $50 or some bullshit. So it's like, yeah, no, maybe not. No, thank you. I would love to have that kit again. It would be super cool. Do not think I am going to own that kit ever again, which is sad. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and put the movable joint bits. Actually, these bits aren't supposed to move very much up in here. Top bit will. Bottom bit, this one goes to the hand bit, so, you know, it's good, right? You know, it's good. This bit. So we'll pop this guy together just like that. Oh, it's so satisfying when everything fits together just the right way. And then we'll do some blap, blap, blap. When and if I get bigger, maybe I will do some sort of big giveaway like that. Like the first 20 people or the first 30 people or whatever to do a special thing I'll send a kit to. And then we'll build stuff together. You know, that's another thing that I've been considering, and that I've never actually did back when I was doing my collection of it, was I'd never kit bashed more than one mobile suit together. And, like, kit bashing looks like it would be a lot of fun. Ah, come on, don't be shitty. Like, I'd love to make a Zaku 2 mixed with, like, a Zugok or something like that. Or an Aggai. Aggai! Alright. So we've got one elbow to wrist done. Here is our second elbow to wrist that we are going to put together here. Make sure that all of the runner bits don't interfere with it snapping together proper. Here we go. And we're just gonna pop. And presto. There we go. Another little bit more cleanup. Check. But yeah, no, like, Gunpla kits like this are still one of the, like, top hobbies in Japan. In fact, a bunch of my students do Gunpla, and we did an activity where they had to bring in something for show and tell, and one kid brought in a Danboru Senshi kit, and I was like, oh look, it's the shittier, less expensive, and more shonen anime version of Gundam, and he's like, hey, shut up. It's good, right? Alright, now we're gonna get the polycap. Wait, hang on. Here we go, yeah. So we're gonna pop out these hands here. Gonna be good, gonna be good. 20 and 21. Ah, that's because 19 is a separate hand that we're going to be using for the beam saber. That's fair. So let's just go ahead and pop these hands out, and we're going to put the back of the hands onto them, and then slip them right in. Here we go. Boop, just like that. There's one hand. There's the second hand. And then we'll take the 17s from B, which is where? Over here. 9, 10, 25, 18, 17. Here we go. Pap. Just like that. I really like the Gyeon's color scheme as well. Like, it's very non-threatening. This, like, sky blue and then, like, cornflower blue put together. Very non-threatening, and then it will come up and wreck your shit. Alright. So here we go. Here. We'll pop you in like this. And you are one functional hand. Just like that. Got a little hand going on. And we'll do this with the other one as well. This is backwards. Ah. That is because it is the wrong piece. We're looking for 18 on that one. Bap. And bap. Here we go. Because one of these hands is more angled than the other so that it can hold the beam saber. And one of them is straighter so that it can hold the shield. So here we go. 2 hands. So now let's put all this stuff together. So we've got one shoulder unit that fits down into an elbow. And into this one, we'll stick the left hand. So we've got one fully articulated arm unit. Check. Yep. This is the Toho figure from the video explaining that I was going to have a stream. I'm actually quite pleased with having won the figure as well, because, like, I like Toho, despite what I might say about it sometimes. Alright, so we got 2 legs and 2 arms. Next up, we'll probably work on the torso. Yeah, here we go. Okay, torso. Let's talk. So, where'd my nips go? Here they are. So we're looking for piece 11 and 23. Here's our 11, here's our 23. So let's go ahead and just nip them right out. Pop. Bap. Go ahead and get this one as well. We'll cut right through here like that. And then we'll get you. And you. There we go. So here's our 11 and our 23. We're also going to need some polycaps on this one. We're going to need a G and an H. Polycaps. So here we've got our G, which we'll only need one of for now. Polycap G. Polycap H. Polycap H is the most versatile polycap because it has a ball joint attached to a hinge joint on it, which is cool. Alright, so from here, we'll have this guy with the hole in front, which we're going to slip right in like that, so that it's got this hinge motion here, which you can kind of see. And then down here, let's slip in, oh, well, I guess it's actually better to put it into this bit back here. So you'll slap in like that, and you will fit in just like this. Oh, the polycaps. I'm so happy that polycaps exist. So we've got these two polycaps. We're going to snap these guys together, and it will make one functioning Yan torso. So this is our upper body. This is like where the solar plexus area would end. And you can kind of tell by the way that it's formed here that it's going to be a thing that you'll clamp another thing onto so that it can rotate around it like that, which is super rad. So let's go ahead and clean this guy up a little bit. Just like this. I hope that you guys are actually, like, entertained by my talking and shit. If you want me to just, like, shut the fuck up and build the figurine or whatever, just say so and I won't ramble as much. I know I've got a tendency to talk too much. So here we go. Just gonna make sure that everything fits together in just the right way. Just like that. Now from here, let's add our front and back armors, which are going to be our 4 and 5 over off of the B runner. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it. Bow. Yeah. Front armor. One of the things that I'm definitely going to do once I get my camera in is I'm going to take you guys into the Gundam pod game, that Bonds of the Battlefield that I was telling you about. I've already cut this piece out. I might as well put it on the hand that it's supposed to go on so that I don't lose it. There we go. Let's go ahead and snap you on here, so as not to lose any important pieces of the kit. I have lost kit pieces before. But, anyway, there we go. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm definitely going to take you guys into the Gundam pod game, because it's rad. Like, it's actually really cool. And, like, what kind of a YouTuber would it be if I didn't share with you guys the kind of stuff that I like doing? So we got this guy going on. Here's our back armor bit that's going to help cover up the inside where the reactor is going to be. And then we'll just slam this guy up on the front. This area is probably where the cockpit is going to be. I don't know if you can... Well, you can kind of see it on this picture here. There's this square area thing, which I am guessing is going to be where the cockpit, like, sort of falls downwards and you can get out of it. Let's go ahead and clean this guy up. Yeah, the runners did not do this one any credit. There we go. Let's go ahead and make sure that this side... Ew, gross. God damn. That one's going to need some sanding. There we go. I had an impressive collection of these back in the day. Go, we'll get rid of that bit, and we'll get rid of this bit as well. Can you guys even hear the music that's going on in the background? Yeah, we'll need some sandpaper. Just little bits of sandpaper. I have music going. It's actually just another YouTube stream. There we go. Vincent always wants $5. But yeah, there we go. So we've got our torso. Onto that torso, we can then add our arms. Check that shit out. Hehehe. You know what I think I may have done? I think I may have put the shoulder rotators in the wrong way. I did. I put the shoulder rotators in the wrong way. Let's see if I can fix that. Or if I'm gonna have to live with it now. Bet you think you're clever, Josh. Let's go ahead and wiggle this knife into this joint without damaging the joint itself. Come on. Please behave. Please come apart. I did not want you to be the wrong way. I apologize. Well, then why didn't you say something, Jason? Jeez. Thought you had my back, bro. Ouch. I am more likely to break a fingernail than I am to cut myself, though, which is nice. Come on, man. Work with me here. There we go. All right, we're getting it. We're getting it. Come on. Come on. Make it work for me, please, please. Man, like, it's always really disappointing when you do something like this where it's like, oh man, it's one little tiny thing that I missed, but because of it, now I have to go back and fix, like, all this stuff. It's really disheartening, because it's like, man, it's just a tiny little thing. They still have the table flip game in some arcades here. I haven't seen it in Akiba, anywhere, but it does exist. Come on. Work with me, man. Work with me. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. Wonderful. Okay. So there's one. Turn this sucker over. There we go. Yeah, that's going to be a better range of motion on that. You know, Josh, you do make a very good point. As it turns out, I actually have got Chair Ally right over here. He's a good dude. he was holding up the other camera. But, oh shit, stop. There we go. The other camera stopped working right, so. The unfortunate thing is that I don't really wear enough ties to wear a tie pin. It's unfortunate. But you know how my life goes. Oh, don't you know about it, Josh? It's this fantastic game where, so it's like there's a table kind of like this one, and it's sit in front of a screen, right? And the controls of the game is you have to slam your hands on the table, and then when your meter fills up, you grab the end of the table and flip it over, and it makes everything on the screen fly around as though you'd actually flip the table, which is hilarious. They have it in some American versions of the arcades as well. Actually, lovely, you may have a lot of my ties, but I've got a shit ton of them here as well. I brought like 12 of them with me, and I left like 30 of them at home. Alright. We're gonna see if I can't do this side a little bit quicker. So that we don't have to sit and watch and listen to me lament about how shitty I made this decision. Hello, darkness, my old friend. And there we go. I mean, I'm just saying, Chair Ally kept me safe during those terrifying times when I was fucking walking around in the dark in the water with some invisible bullshit trying to save me. The only reason that I didn't die during that time was because Chair Ally had my back from the other room. Should I go back and play more Amnesia: The Dark Descent, you guys, do you think? Should that be what I streamed this week? More Amnesia? Oh, Joshua, you were there. I remember. Chair Ally is the strongest ally. Alright, so we've fixed both of the arm joints now, so that I don't look like a dumbass. There we go. Now he can actually put his arms down by his sides. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, fuck. Fantastic. Okay. So we've got one torso. Now we're gonna need to put the lower bit of his body on him. It's gonna consist of these two guys here. This is gonna be the weird skirt armor that all of the ZEON units seem to have. Like, pretty much all of the ZEON units have this weird skirt armor. And, like, a lot of the EFSF units have it as well. But it's a very ZEON thing. Alright. So before we actually throw that onto the Gyan body, let's shave down the edges a little bit and make sure that they're gonna actually fit together right. Hate it when stuff just barely doesn't fit together because of the runner trash. And there we go. Actually, what do you guys think I should stream this weekend? Make suggestions. I will see if I can't honor some of them. Alright. So you are front bit. And you are back bit. And you're just gonna kind of slip together. And hopefully I don't break these pieces. There we go. There's one, there's two. Pop just like that. And then you rotate a little bit. A little bit's enough. Saturday at 2 o'clock p.m. Japan Standard Time, which would be like now time, just on Saturday. My Saturday, your Friday, I think. Man, runner trash, why are you in the way here? Stop being in the way. Goodbye, arm. Just need you gone for a second. Get rid of the runner trash on the inside here. See, and this side is decently okay. Yeah, I hear you. Back when I very first started, I had no idea that you needed nippers and knives and shit like that. So I ended up just like breaking them off of the runners. I just like pop it out and stick them together and be like, "Wow, this looks like ass. What do I do?" So then I actually did some research. They have a Gundam Builder magazine that's like a monthly publication here, and I read one of those and was like, "Oh shit. I'm missing literally all of the tools that I need to be part of this hobby." Well then. Let's go ahead and throw a little bit of sandpaper here. That bit of the underarm. There we go. See if we can maybe get a little bit of this business out of the way as well. Yeah, I'm gonna need to buy my weathering kit back again. There we go. It's just kind of like manually trim down this edge. There we go. Okay. Now, let's build, and I'll form the head. So we're looking for some pieces over here. This is A8 off the A runner, because of course it would be off the A runner with a name like A8. Here's our A8 runner, which we should put the sticker on like now before we put it onto anything. So you got this sticker. Actually, I probably should have put this one onto its chest bit before I put the center thing on it. But whatever, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Right, so we're gonna pop this guy off of here. And very carefully. This is the worst part of this hobby. Gonna throw it on like this. Ugh. Move the knife a little closer into the center. I hate putting on the stickers. It's the worst part. It's why I like painting them so much. And that way I don't have to put on their dumb stickers. And there we go. Oh, it's so much work. So much like little tiny fiddly bit work. And like 90% of the time, you get it almost right. Like, close enough to be like, fuck it, it's fine. But not close enough to be like, yeah, I did it, it's right. So here we go for that. Now, we'll also have to take this pink seal and put it in for the eye. Yeah, that also tends to be the case for me as well, is like peeling the stickers off is a nightmare too. Right, here is our central eye. Brilliant. And we're gonna make sure that the sticker doesn't fucking come off like a Alright. So here is our front sensor bit. Perfect. This bit's gonna be downwards like that. So we'll leave that there. Next, let's get us some other head bits. So we're going to pull the top of the weird spiked German-style helmet. Top of the Joyman helmet. B9 and B10. These two together. Yeah. Back in the day when they weren't self-adhesive, they had the, like, dry fucking, like, postage stamp glue on them. God, those were the worst. Oh, man, those were the worst. Here we go. Alright. So we're gonna stick this stuff together. Like this. Hoping desperately that the runner trash doesn't fuck with it, which it didn't, which is nice. Let's just cut a little bit of extra runner trash off. Make it all nice and smooth. There we go. We're going to continue going like this. Perfect. So here is our chin area. Let's take this guy. We're going to slide him in like that. And then we'll put the top of the head on. Ooh, top of the head, we need to clean up the runner trash real quick, because otherwise it's not going to sit right. Come on, don't misbehave, please. There we go. So there's that side. There's this side. Here's the back area. Check. I remember way also back in... Hey, 1 o'clock in the morning. Grats. Thanks for staying as long as you have. But I remember way back in the day when I first learned that you could sand stuff and that you pretty much had to sand it if you were going to paint it. I sanded a piece just far too much and ended up not being able to put it together. It was like, oh, oops. So we've got a head. Now we need the antenna bit for the top. Where are you? Here you are, you tiny piece. Very small. Easy to lose. Here we go. We'll stick you right in the top like this. There's your head sensor. Looks just like the picture, doesn't it? Let's move this back a little bit. Alright. We got a head! We'll just stick that on like that. He's just like, yeah, I wonder. So there's our that. Next up, let's put together the jetpack. Doop-de-doop-doo-doo. Gonna pap and whoop. And woogity-woo. Bap and whoop. Then we'll throw these things on the bottom, the little booster shells. Easy stuff. Yeah, no, they're real tiny pieces, right? It's like, oh no. Please do not for to be getting lost. Alright, we'll deal with that shit later. We're cleaning up the runner trash. Runner trash sounds like something that you would call like a group of people who are slightly below the influence of the law in Seattle in 2070. Runner trash. You know, those shadow runners. Ugh. I much prefer to do my business with legitimate assassins. I miss Shadowrun, man. I miss Shadowrun. Shadowrun's my home system, you know? It's not my mother's system, but it is my home system. Sorry, I was off camera for a second there. Gonna pop this dude together just like this. Look, it's a little jetpack. And then we'll clean this guy up a little bit. Just get rid of this little tags here from having cut it off of stuff. Easy. And we're gonna hoop, pap, and zoop. There we go. And these fit onto the bottom of this guy, just like that. Fuck. There we go, come on. You fit on perfect like that. Let's go ahead and give you a little bit of a sanding job right here. Ugh, it's gonna discolor it so badly. Really need to get a weathering kit, man. Really need to get a weathering kit. Ugh. There we go. It'll be fine. One jetpack. One jetpack, which we can stick right to the back. Just like that. When I jet, you pack. Just like that. So we're actually a good portion of the way done with this guy. Look at that. Let's build the shield. We're going to go ahead and need a couple of these pieces, namely the main bit of the shield. Just go ahead and pop right like that. Shield bit number 1. Check. We're gonna need this guy. Ooh, the first piece from the Sea Runner. Check that out. Bam. 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 And bam. First piece from the Sea Runner. We'll need polycap B for this. It's gonna be one of these. What's great about the polycap runners is that it's like a universal runner, so a lot of these polycaps are going to get left over, which means that we can use them for other stuff if we want to kit bash later. I think that's cool. Right, so you're going to go inside of this little groove. Oh, but you have to behave, please. Has to go in like that. There we go. See, now from this side we can access that polycap. After that, we'll go ahead and throw this guy in like this. Check that out. That's actually really cool. Neat. Do we need to... Yeah, there we go. A little bit on you. A little bit on you. Perfect. Now then. From here, let's also put on the, like, weird arm grabby device. So we're going to need 22 and 23. Bap. Shoop. Just like this. Vincent, you're not giving a tutorial on how to build this kit. Shut the hell up about that kind of thing. From the A runner, we need a 9. Where was our A runner? You are blank now, so you're done. This is our A runner, isn't it? Yeah. We need 9, which is this one. Here we go. Bap and hop. Let's plop that down right like that. Alright, so let's get another polycap B. This runner comes with 4 B polycaps. I mean, it is the most commonly used polycap, but you know. Okay, so we got polycap B, which we stick on to piece A9. Making sure that it is strongly attached. Check. That bit of the polycap, the hinge is going to go inside like this, so that it just fits right together. And you've got a thing that will snap onto your Gyon's forearm. Isn't that cool? Check and check. See, now, it'll be able to grab onto this bit here and snap onto the arm with this bit. How cool is that? We'll then use that polycap that we put in earlier and just, bap. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. Oh, yeah. And oh, look at that. It's so neat. Ha 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 ha. That's rad. Get excited about things that can move. Let's build a beam saber. Beam saber. I love how the way that this thing does it in order, it makes it so that you don't actually put the whole, like, device, the whole mobile suit together until the very end bit, because it doesn't build the, like, hip to torso connector for a really long time. And then we're going to need the beam saber's actual blade. Okay, so with these clear plastics, this is the like, worst bit of having to try to cut these, because the nippers are going to leave this weird residue thing here. But if you just use a knife for it, then it'll actually make it opaque. So either way, you kind of lose. And especially it looks terrible if you use the sandpaper on it, because you'll have that kind of residue that goes on. So we're going to not do that even a little bit, and instead we're just going to try real hard to trim down the runner trash just with the knife. It's difficult. It really is. This clear plastic effect stuff is the hardest bit of doing a high-grade kit bash. Not even just a kit bash, but a high-grade kit in general. So we'll pop you into the guard. And then you can go into the bottom of it like that. And voila. Zhom, wow, yow. Alright, so you've got the sword and the shield. Now let's go ahead and throw the hips together. This is the hip piece. It is just that piece. That's the whole thing right there. Bap. And 3. So here's our hip piece, which actually doesn't need a terrible lot of cleaning up. That's nice. So this bit's going to go up on the inside of stuff. And then from our A runner, this is the C runner. Here's our A runner. We're going to need piece number 2. You are completely empty now. So you'll go with the completely empty bits. As for you, where's our piece number 2? Here it is. This would be something that you could miss really easily. Just think that it's another bit of the runner or something. Especially because, like, it's this sort of perfectly cylindrical thing. So you're just going to be careful with it, right? So, this little knob here goes inside of this slot on the front, like that, to give this little bit of a round bump here, which is rad. Finish him. Do it. We're going to pop a leg joint in like that. And pop another one in like that. There's you. Then we'll jam this way up into the torso. Just like that. Your hands are on backwards. Heh heh heh. Glad that that was an easy fix. Now from here, let's put in a beam saber. A higher output beam saber than the EFSF stuff. And then, let's pop this into your hand that way and snap it onto your arm. Just like that. Perfect. Now from here, we can stand him up all nice like. Let's do it this way, shall we? Oh boy. What did Palpatine say at the baseball game? And presto. Look at that. We have built our YMS-15 ZEON unit. Check him out. Actually pretty cool. There should be the ability to stick the mines into the back of the shield somehow, I should think. He didn't see anything, but he threw it. Motherfucker. What do we got going on here? That's weird that it doesn't say anything about the space mines. Why doesn't it say anything about the space mines? Where are those supposed to go? Space mines? Space mines. Because as I understand it, those were supposed to be... fuck it, whatever. So you've got an extra hand. For if you want him to not have a beam saber in it, maybe. And then... we've got the space mines. So, the thing about this unit was not simply that it was just a close combat unit. Though that was its intention, it was also intended to be used sort of sneakily as well, by using the missiles and stingers that are inside of its shield, and these space mines that you can just, like, set in space and they'll, like, sit there. And then any mobile suit that gets near it, they blow up. Surely there has to be a... Well, there we go. Complete with space mines. Check it out, you guys. We did it. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with me and building the ZEON with me together. It was really cool. Actually turned out to be pretty rad. Ooh, shit. Hee. It's turned out pretty cool. I like it. Well, you were here at the start of my third version of this collection. I hope that you have enjoyed yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. It is currently 2:18 p.m. Japan Standard Time. So it's not really even that bad. Actually, I bet that we can switch these bits and have them look a little bit better. There we go. Now his feet are slightly on the outside rather than on the inside. Thanks a lot, Josh. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. Here, I'll do this. Oh, why is it upside down? Oh no, it's upside down. Shit. Let's fix that really quick. we're gonna rotate 180 degrees. There we go. Thank you guys very much for coming around and hanging out and watching. I appreciate it. It was really fun. I got my Gyan done. It's a pretty cool dude. I'm really pleased with this. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, the like and subscribe buttons are waiting below this video. If you haven't already done so, you can also follow my socials. It's the Facebook and Twitter that are in the description box. There's still the tea giveaway that's going on right now. By Sunday, just post something tea related to the Facebook page, and you'll be entered in even if you are already part of the Patreon. So thank you guys again very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Hehehe